Hello, everybody. This is Caleb, and in this live session, I'm going to share kind of the modeling part for an idea that I have had in the back of my head since some months now, perhaps a year. And right now, I feel like doing it, and I wanted to share it with you. And it is called the project is being called Displacing Caesar. Why Caesar? Because it is this name appears in the Planet of the Apes, but is a person that actually I was talking to, and he was explaining to me how we humans, uh, decide on which fruit it's good to eat, edible, and the kind of knowledge associated that we human have, that just from seeing some vegetables lying on a certain supermarket, and we decide how to grasp the best for our health. And since I am interested in artificial intelligence, I was um, thinking on how computers now are able to recognize objects for quite some time now, some 5 years, probably 10 years. But I was stretching this idea and asking myself if a digital computer program can actually decide which is the best for you as the same as with the same accuracy as humans, and how it will be affecting the people involved in this kind of processes. Displacing Caesar, the making of, and why displace? Because I heard this word from some AI pioneer, K-Fu Lee, which has been involved since the early 90s. As long as I know, probably earlier, but at least at that point he reaches some, has been celebrated. Uh, and he's saying that AI will displace 50% of jobs by 2027. And it says it's uncannily accurate. And I look for the word, the etymology, and it says removal from office, this place, um, to remove to a different place, put out of the usual place, remove from any position, office, or dignity. Okay, so humans will be displaced by these AI systems. I'm not saying it, it is this guy, which is kind of one of the best guys in artificial intelligence. I haven't read this article, to be honest, but I have kind of seen some interviews of this guy in 2018, 2019, and eventually I bought his book, which I give it away in a conference. Uh, these guys knows what they are talking about. So displacing Caesar, which is a famous name, especially in the Planet of the Apes. You can visit my website. Also, I'm inviting you to visit my website, in which I have several things. You can read the blog, which has some other story ongoing. But right now, let's focus on delivering this project. So the mechanics of this project will be and hopefully this guy doesn't get doesn't get offended because we're using his tutorial, this person's tutorial to base our project. We have Blender opened over here. Open it, and we have our little friend, this character that it was modeled quite ago. I never finished the project, but I'm doing it now. It will be rigged. Some eyes be added. It we will be completing this project. And so the story goes: this is our expert. This person that needs some clothes is an expert, and an expert not in the sense that he has some certifications, not in the sense that he went to a university. So some other people say to this person, okay, now you're an expert because you did all of the stuff required by this university. No, he's an expert because he has been in the field observing other people that came after him, before him, they came before him, and this person was learning, and after too much attempts of deciding which fruits are good for in the sense of taste, in relation to taste, um, and seeing the colors, probably the weight, several features. Okay, so it makes some mistakes. Perhaps one day he tastes the fruit and it takes some sour, uh, but another way, after several years, he's now the person to go. If you go to that region, and you want the best fruit, people will say he knows how to. That person knows how to select the best. Let us say pineapple, the best pineapple that you can have. That person will tell you which one to take away with you, and eventually this person is become has reached some level of popularity and some enterprises. This is a fiction now story, by the way, right? Don't start with things in the comments. You can do it; you're free. But this is a fiction story. Eventually, as some guitar player says in my mouth, that it says by a lot of people, what I heard from by Martin, that it was sometimes the news spread from mouth to mouth, because of the people, and some AI enterprise with lots and lots of money hear about, and they are looking for an expert. And why are they looking for an expert? Because they are basing their projects, their AI projects, in these AI pioneers that say that perhaps you can replicate the expertise that some people have. You can replicate that expertise, and you know make it more available, make the expert more available to everybody. That's how this enterprise, at least how they are selling themselves. So they can buy and hire these people over a contract, this person, and start asking questions. And they came to a model in which the AI system is able to quote unquote see the same features in the fruits, and now the AI system with a high level of accuracy is able to decide which which pineapple is the best, you know. And this guy have a great time while the contract long while the contract lasted, but then they go away, and the system in, is being put into production, and now people are using their cell phones, go to the supermarket from all over the world. They don't need more anymore. This guy. Mm, for a starter, for starters, this guy wasn't making any money, uh, but using his expertise or her expertise. So perhaps for this person wasn't a big deal. Um, but now the cell phones are able to take a picture, and the system says from all the available fruits to marked with a square, take this please. Okay. Um, so this guy gets forgotten and displaced, as capably says. But then again, this is a science fiction, if you will, the story, and this guy wasn't making any money, so he didn't feel too bad, or she didn't feel too bad. Um, but there are other people making money out of their expertise, and they will feel kind of, and they are associate their value, the inner value, to the job that they are doing, that they are performing. So when they remove their jobs, they feel like they have lost a sense of purpose, you know. So that kind of implications or repercussions or consequences I want to explore in this project. Again, we won't, we will not portray this guy as being a failure after they come and go, because he was self-realized from the very beginning, you know. But there are other people that really will feel bad if you displace them. So I'm not sure how the idea will be executed, will be how the final product will, how it will, how it will end materialized. But at least I have said what is this. Okay, so we need to start portraying the stuff. So we have the guy. It's incomplete. It will need clothes, hey, hat over here because it's the sun is out there. He's on the field. It will be need. We will need to rig this character. And right now, I am modeling a beach over here. And since I have other things, I will be here for about 50 minutes. And again, uh, I will shut up now, and you will just see me. You will be seeing me modeling this very slow because Blender is my hobby. I'm not a, like a full-time Blender creative artist. And since I am just interested on the modeling part, I will mute the volume. So this guy create the circle and fill the circle. And so I go to edit mode. This is not a tutorial. Eventually, I will shut up. Um, extrusion. Probably here. But now our fellow needs to go outside the super. How do you say? On the top of the earth. At the top of the earth. It's jumping. Here it is. You know what? I will level up the volume because perhaps we are missing some instructions. Let's hope this guy doesn't have any music and we don't reach any copyright infringement.
Shift S and snap cursor to select it. Now let's say about. So this will serve as our base. And now let's move the cursor up a notch. So I will hold Shift S and snap cursor to select it. Now let's
Okay, he has moved this one, the cursor, selected. But he is on object mode now. Let us see. I want to see the effect of this cursor to selected, and nothing happens. So we can move it by ourselves. Let's go to edit mode and try again. And we managed to move the thing. Okay, so he did it on edit mode. It seems so, I'm not sure. It seems something moved. So the cursor is up, but the origin is here. Let us see what happens. I think 1 hour will not be enough to complete this.
about, and I will press Shift A and let's add a round cube. If you don't have this option here, go into the preferences add-ons and activate extra objects add-on, and you should have all these options here. And now let's click round cube, and now
I don't have these add-ons. Like activated, and I don't want to do that. Probably I should. Let us see. Let's try this with a cube. And I'm not sure if he moved this. Let's move it by ourselves. What I want to say is that perhaps we can use Rebel, Rebel, and we have some sort of the same effect. We can try and move this. Let us hide this guy. It's being called Cube. Let's name it. Okay, so and let's remove it for the time being. We know it's here. Now we have these Let's see. So I think we have reached the same level of round cube. Again, this is a low polygon model. If we, it seems like it's being smooth. Uh, get another. That's not. That's more. That's more likely. See. Yeah, I think that's. I'm not sure how this thing will end.
Now I will go here and switch the preset to quad sphere, and you will
It seems like we will need to activate this. How did they say it? This extension?
Shift A and let's add a round cube. If you don't have this option here, go into the preferences, add-ons, and activate extra objects add-on, and you should have all these options here.
Add-on.
And now let's click round cube, and now I will go here and
Let us see how what he radius
switch the preset
radius. Yeah, we will need that one.
to quad sphere, and you will see why in a second. Now let's tab in.
Okay, but we can use sphere. I don't know why he didn't do that. We are following this person's tutorial, but I don't have anything about add-ons. Let's play along with this guy. So I think we can get rid of this round cube and instead a sphere. Again, I'm not sure if I did. I'm not sure if I moved this cursor at the top as this guy because the objects are appearing below. But let us check this. Most likely we will end adding the extension, the add-on, because probably in here we will have something with this sphere. It looks the same. I don't know. What do you guys think? Something different. Let us go to edit mode. And wait, let's continue.
And press S, then 4 to scale this 4 times as well. I will
Now we can see that they don't have. Let's check the polygons over here because it seems a little bit different. Probably on this part, it seems like in here there is no vertex. Let's continue.
confirm with enter, and now I'll press 3 on a numpad for a side view, and let's enable X-ray. Now let's delete the vertices in the bottom half, so I will drag the selection here, press X and delete vertices.
Okay, he did a lot of
Go
stuff.
here and switch the preset to quad sphere, and you will see why in a second. Now let's tab in and press S, then 4 to scale this 4 times as well. I will confirm with enter, and now I'll
Okay,
here and switch the preset.
The circle was scaled to with a 4 factor, and now he's scaling this this cube. It's covering the whole ground.
To quad sphere, and you will see why in a second. Now let's tab in and press S, then 4 to scale this 4 times as well. I will confirm with enter, and now I'll press.
And he's not selecting this part. Okay, he scaled on edit mode. S 20. Okay. Okay. Probably this will give you will give us something at the end.
3 on a numpad for a side.
Then he goes to this view X. You can click on X, or you can press 3 as he said. See?
View, and let's enable X-ray. Now let's
And now he enabled X-ray with Control C. You can also do it in here. This is not a Blender tutorial, sorry. I pressed. Let's redo. Let us see Blender has redo. Yeah, cool. So it's Alt C for us, not Control C. We are not making this big because I was with the mouse in Blender. If you have the mouse in area, the shortcuts are over the effects are over change.
delete the vertices in the bottom half. So I will drag the selection here, press X and delete vertices.
Okay, I am not sure since I have the sound right in my head. What kind of selection?
X-ray. Now let's delete the vertices. If you don't have this option
Which,
here, go into the
if he
preferences
has
add-ons and
vertices
activate
or
extra objects add-on, and you should have
check.
all these options here. And now let's click round cube, and now I will go here and switch the preset to quad sphere, and you will see why.
I will close the windows by the way, so
and
don't
press
worry.
S, then 4 to scale these 4 times as well. I will confirm with enter, and now I'll
So he has
press
a
3 on a numpad for a side view, and let's
vertex
enable X-ray.
selection.
Now let's delete the vertices in the bottom half, so I will drag the selection here, press X and delete vertices. And to keep everything here on the origin point, I will hold period on a keyboard and switch the pivot point to 3D cursor. You can do it here as well. And now let's.
I think this is the difference with our model, you know? I'm going to delete the below vertices just as him. And somehow we missed something. It looks different. Oh, it's the our base ground. Okay.
4 times as well. I will confirm with enter, and now I'll press 3 on a numpad for a side view, and let's enable X-ray. Now let's delete the vertices in the bottom half, so I will drag the selection here, press X and delete vertices. And to keep everything here on the origin point, I will hold period on a keyboard and switch the pivot point to 3D cursor.
We're selecting a 3D cursor over here, which we don't know if we did it right. So here we are going to find something.
You can do it here as well. And now let's press A to select everything, and press S, then Z to scale on the Z-axis, and 0 to scale everything down. So this is a one plane. And I find this to be the
Yeah, this is great, but I don't know how this will end for us because the cursor probably will put it down the base. Okay, I don't think we need the X-ray being activated. Then the guy did a scale.
And to keep everything here on the origin point, I will hold period on a keyboard and switch the pivot point to 3D cursor. You can do it here as well. And now let's press A to select everything, and press S, then Z to scale on the Z-axis, and 0 to scale everything down. So this is
Yeah, scale on the Z-axis. Everything has to be selected. and we will have to move our, like the X sphere, that the because the cursor wasn't uh, right, and here we can see the difference. You can see this, and this reminds me from books from geography when I was a kid or maybe a teenager, and now this makes sense. Now this makes sense. When you're seeing some maps, this is not related to Blender. This is what I tend to do when I'm reading a book or doing an exercise. I tend to start making these things. Uh, you know, if you see, probably you have seen this figure elsewhere, and you have asked yourself, what's this or how? Um, it's nothing, like it's a bunch of lines, but for me, everything can say something. I don't know, just talking out loud. But what happens is that this used to be an sphere, as we saw. So perhaps Blender can be used to teach some geography or some, teaching some mathematics related to these planes, and the people will see that it was an sphere, but now it's like 2D on a plane. I'm not sure if I am saying just nonsense, but for me, this is great. Seeing this from the top, it used to be an sphere, so most likely these maps are modeling spheres, or you can think of a sphere. This is great. Seeing this is enough for me, even if I don't finish this project.
Is a one plane, and I find this to be the easiest way how to create a rounded surface like this made out of quads that you can display.
In he says something about quads, and this will hit us in the future, I think. I'm telling you, because in here we don't have quads. We only have quads over here. Look at this. But in here we have triangles. Somehow this will be messed up following this person's tutorial. But once we gain confidence following the tutorial once, at least once, then we can go back and exercise the tutorial once more and doing it with the add-on, because now we will see how having this sphere, how having these triangles makes a different effect, how the triangles will affect the final result. So this is great too.
Very easily, but I don't like the density right here, so I'll switch to the edge select by pressing 2, alt click this loop right here and press Ctrl X to dissolve it, and you can
He erased it, dissolve one edge loop. I probably did is to find the outer loop.
this loop right here and press Ctrl X.
I didn't see. I'm sorry if I put in my face too near the computer.
A rounded surface like this made out of quads that you can display very easily, but I don't like the density right here, so I'll switch to the edge select by pressing 2, alt click this loop right here.
It's the outer loop.
And press Ctrl X to dissolve it, and you can do the same with this loop as well. So now we have a nice quad surface that we can displace very easily, and we'll
this for the displace modifier. So he's saying that he doesn't like these little quads over here. If only this person was able to see what we got over here. Okay, so let's remove it. I remember if Alt click at Windows, because you see now. Oh look, and X dissolve H, and now we have the quads that this person wants. Now the displacement will be a mess because of these triangles. Now I'm seeing. Let's follow along.
We'll need two of those, so let's tab out and press Shift D to duplicate. Now
If it hasn't changed, then view.
easily, and we'll need two of those, so let's tab out and press Shift D to these made out of quads that you can displace very easily, but I don't like the density right here, so I'll switch to the edge select by pressing 2, alt click this loop right here and press Ctrl X to dissolve it, and you can do the same with this loop as well. So now we have a nice quad surface that we can displace very easily.
Now, if I only do this on Saturdays, this will never hit the, the public. So instead of doing this, quote unquote, it is my hobby, but I want to present this. I want to share this. So if I do only this on Saturdays, it will not be finished. So I expect to be following this on a daily basis, probably 2 hours. I have too much. I need to finish a lot of the stuff and not start new things. But I really wanted to do this. But now I will be focusing on finishing the ongoing things.
And we'll need two of those, so let's tab out and press Shift D to duplicate. Now tab back in, and I'll press A to select everything and press.
So he went to object mode.
We can displace very easily, and we'll need two of those, so let's tab out and press Shift D to duplicate.
Okay, he went to object mode with the tab. And here it is, sphere. Oh my god. Careful with this.
Now tab back in, and I'll press A to select everything and press S.
Okay, and he duplicates the object. Oh my god.
So let's tab out and press Shift D to duplicate. Now tab back in, and I'll press A to select everything and press S to scale this down. I want the water to be inset a little bit, just like that. And now press.
So he went to object mode, duplicate the thing, but we move it, but we didn't click the right click button. So the thing got moved. So again, Shift D, we are presenting the duplication thing. Right click to cancel the move, but the duplicate object is here. Then he went to edit mode again, select everything S, and he said that he's doing this inset. Well, I don't know. Let's do it over here, because otherwise we will disappear. Here's okay. I'm not sure if it was too much.
Press E to extrude, and I'll press Ctrl R to create a loop cut right.
Okay, he extruded that thing. Probably it was too much.
Right here, and one more right there.
And created some loop with Ctrl R right here, and another one right here.
Okay, now tab out and we can press Ctrl 2 to add a subdivision modifier. Let's disable the X-ray view and we can right click and shade this smooth.
So this guy created a subdivision modifier, but we didn't get to see. Let's see. We didn't get to see the result here in this modifiers section. So I don't know if this person had added the modifier just mentioned
To
it.
create a loop cut right here and one more right there. Okay, now tab out and we
Okay, he went to an object mode game.
can press Ctrl 2 to add a subdivision
Look at this. You see? Now you have this modifier, subdivision modifier with two, and you're seeing the effect right now.
modifier. Let's disable the X-ray view and we can right click and shade this smooth.
We went and disabled. We have shade this mode. Okay. Probably it was too much the thing over here. It was it seems like okay. Yeah, it's okay.
And of course, if you want this smooth as well, you can also use subdivision modifier, but maybe the bevel modifier will be enough. So let's add the bevel modifier in the modifier panel and let's reduce the amount tiny bit, increase the segments to 2, right click.
Okay, he added another modifier, but this time around he oh my god, I cannot see this. 0.083.
Shade smooth, and you can
Let's see what happens if we press Ctrl 1. Yes, got it. Oh, we selected the. How can we call this? Supervise? Super. How do you say it? The top. Let's check. I don't want to.
let's add the bevel modifier in the modifier panel and let's reduce the amount tiny bit, increase the segments to 2, right click and shade this smooth. And of course, if you want this smooth as well, you can also use subdivision modifier, but maybe the bevel modifier will be enough. So let's add the bevel modifier in the modifier panel and let's reduce the amount tiny bit, increase the segments to 2.
I want to know the meaning of this. I'm from Mexico, and I don't know. I don't have like. Probably this is basic vocabulary, you would say, but surface. It is basic. I know this. Now it makes sense. Surface, right? Oh, but only when you see it again. This is the kind of thing that you say. I have it right. You know, on the surface. How can you forget that? Now, one subdivision was fire. Something is wrong in here. Something is wrong in here. something is wrong in here. It seems like we didn't extrude this circle. How could that happen? Let's be quick on this.
Shift A and we'll start with the circle. I want to create the base for this diorama. So let's tab in and press S.
We can also
to
speed
scale this 4 times.
if you are
By
getting it by
now let's press F
impatient.
to fill and E to extrude.
Okay, so we missed the extrusion of the circle, which is a little bit silly. Look at this. We should do that from the very beginning. Right? Oh, but it is extrude. But there's something even worse. Oh, the circle is there. We did extrude the circle. I was about to erase it. What do you think is happening? What do you guys think is happening? Because we have the circle extruded. You see? So something is wrong. We are hiding the camera and then this is the sphere. This is the circle. There's something wrong with this. Let us check.
Times. I will confirm by hitting enter. Now let's press F to fill and E to extrude. So this will serve as our base.
Let's move the circle. We'll tap. I'm not sure what we did. Let's do some. Let's do some experiments. Let's move the cursor over here. I don't remember how. Now, okay, we managed to move the circle, the cursor. Now we're adding a circle. We are filling the circle. Oh, we need to go to edit mode, filling the circle. And then there is no way you can select anything else but the face. We extrude the circle over the Z-axis, like this. And go back here and add the modifier. Look at this. Uh, so there's something wrong here. What do you guys think it is? Perhaps because it's applied on the edit mode? I don't think that's the case. No, that's not the case. Let us see. We have about 40 minutes. 40 minutes. What will be one? We can omit the subdivision surface, but I don't know how that will end. Hmm. What is happening? This is Blender 4.5. So maybe that I'm not sure. I don't think so. Hmm. Maybe this shade is smooth, and then the subdivision modifier. No, 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 that's not the case. It looks like a bread that you're going to eat with coffee. I don't know, but it worked for this at least. Let's not waste no more time. Let's move the cursor to selected, cursor to origin. Where is the cursor to origin? Cursor to world origin, which is not the place it should be, by the way. Now we have this, and we have the fact that we didn't do we didn't use the round cube.
And now let's move the cursor up a notch. So I will hold Shift S and snap cursor to select it. Now,
Okay, what other thing?
and to 2 to create a loop cut right here and one more right there. Okay, now tab out and we can press Ctrl 2 to add a subdivision modifier. Let's disable the X-ray view and we can right click and shade this smooth. And of course, if you want this smooth as well, you can also use subdivision modifier, but maybe the bevel modifier
Let me see. This is the circle.
will be enough. So let's add the bevel modifier in the modifier panel and let's this smooth as well. You can also use subdivision modifier, but maybe the bevel modifier will be enough. So let's add the bevel
Oh, baby! Oh my God, he's using bevel.
modifier in the modifier panel and let's reduce the amount tiny bit.
Like
Increase the segments to 2, right click shade smooth.
okay. For a moment, I was thinking, okay, 0.083. 2, 0.083. And now we can shade smooth just like this person did. and we're back to normality. Oh, I was thinking like uh, something went wrong. We didn't see. He said we didn't pay attention.
You can add one level of subdivision. So let's press Ctrl 1 to add that subdivision in the modifier panel. And let's reduce the amount tiny bit, increase the segments to 2, right click shade smooth, and you can add one level of subdivision. So let's press Ctrl 1 to add that subdivision modifier, and we have a nice smooth surface there.
I'm not sure if it's going to work. Control one. Why I'm doing this? Because you see me doing acting like this because the keyboard. The people following my programming sessions, live sessions, I mean reading tutorials, uh, knows that my keyboard is below the laptop in this new setup. So I'm yet to spend some time mechanizing this new setup. But that's the reason, because otherwise you will be saying, why is this guy doing like this? I'm looking for the keys. I have this setup, but we will get there. One, two.
As well. Now let's select the water object, and we'll add that displacement. So tab back
Okay, now he went to
shade smooth, and you can add one level of subdivision. So let's press Ctrl 1 to add that subdivision modifier, and we have a nice smooth surface there as well. Now let's select the water object, and we'll add that displacement. So tab back in, and again
okay.
I'll enable X-ray so I can do the selection easily. Let's press 1 on a numpad, and I will switch to the vertex select and select all these vertices on
Vertex select.
top, and go to the object data properties and create new vertex group and assign all of
Mm-hmm.
these vertices there to that group. Now tab out. I will disable this so we can better see, and let's go to the modifiers tab and let's add yet another modifier, and that will be displacement modifier. And this is all mess, but right now we can choose that vertex vertices on top and go to the object data properties and create new vertex group and assign all of these vertices there to that group. Now tab out. I will disable this so we can better see, and let's go to the modifiers tab and let's add yet another modifier, and that will be displacement modifier. And this is all mess, but right now we can choose that vertex group.
We're about to add another modifier. Displace. And where are our groups? Okay. We have this thing over here. I'm not sure if we didn't select it. We have this thing. So here is the edge of the world that people were looking for. All right. So we didn't select all the vertices.
So only the top vertices will be affected by
But
this
the guy has it over here.
modifier, and for the direction we can choose Z. So now this is displaced only on LB displacement modifier, and this is all mess, but right now we can choose that vertex group, so only the top vertices will be affected by this modifier, and for the direction we can choose Z. So now this is displaced only on one axis, and we can add a new texture to that and go to the texture settings and switch to clouds, and of course change.
Okay, well, we still have the edge of the world. Now this guy's saying a new texture. He didn't show. Where did he click?
Right now we can choose that vertex group, so only the top vertices will be affected by this modifier, and for the direction we can choose Z. So now this is displaced only on one axis, and we can add a new texture to that and go to the texture settings and switch to clouds.
Where is clouds? Okay. Remember, like we said about the triangles, we are seeing we are not seeing because there's something in here like remember the game Shadows of the Colossus, and here's the place in which the Colossus number 13 will hit the sky. It's all about finding an explanation for a phenomena. It looks very different. Like they changed the algorithm. I don't know. Of course,
We can choose Z. So now this is displaced only on one axis, and we can add a new texture to that and go to the texture settings and switch to clouds, and of course change the scale to something like this. So this resembles water surface a little bit more. Now go back to the modifier.
ours looks already cool. Let's use two. Yeah. Okay, we hit the owl. So where is our friend? Where is our friend? Where is this character displaced light? Here's the camera. Look at him. He's underground. He's shooting this like a water. He's about to take a deep dive into the ocean, and it would be good for this character to if we paint this like water and add some animation. This guy will be having a hard time, a good time. We'll be having a good time. Uh, taking a shower over here. So he's happy. This person, she's happy. I don't know. Uh, let's save and let's continue with this exercise. Imagine 1 hour for 5 minutes, another hour, another hour, another hour, another hour, another hour. It will be like 15 hours, 20 hours. So I need to hurry, I need to rush, and but I don't know how to do that. And I need to do it more frequently. So 2 hours a day. So for now, in order to avoid being too, let's say goodbye for the time being. Hopefully, come back with a guitar, show you something, and people will say that's your problem. Continue with your project, Displacing System, finish the project, and then grab the guitar. But I'm not sure. I'd rather take the two things and divide the day. Mm. So thank you very much, and see you in the next part.